Okay, hello everyone. Okay, it's been a while, but I want to get back into recording videos, and the way I want to start is by doing a Compendium of Rathe set review, or just not really a set review, just looking at all the cards and pointing out some that I think are notable or are really strong. So yeah, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. This card, yeah, I mean, it's RKO's new signature weapon, but I don't think it's very good in the deck. I mean, Mandible Claw is really good with the Wish card, the blue 6 power that gets a revival attack from your sideboard, and this card just does not enable those types of play patterns. I mean, if you pitch a blue, yeah, it's like for 4, which is good, but it is very mid in my opinion. Now this card is really good in Silver Age and also potentially in CC for some specific kind of decks. Um, Predatory playing, it says instant destroy this game. Resource activate this only if you control a card with 6 or more power, and it has Guardwell too. So it's basically a 2 block gain a resource chess piece, which is I think the best chess piece in Silver Age right now that you can have. I mean, the condition of controlling a card with 6 or more power is really not that difficult for brutes in general. KO obviously has. Oh well, actually KO doesn't give him +1 in the combat chain, so that wouldn't really count. But brutes you are built around playing cards with 6 more power, obviously, and then also if you're playing Lafaya on Hellhammer, that also counts as a card with 6 or more power that you control, so you can just activate it whenever you want, basically. Yeah, spell by 3. I mean, yeah, uh, whatever. Reckless Arithmetic. 1 cost, 1 power. When this attacks, roll a 6-sided die. This gets plus X attack where X is the number rolled. This card is really good in RKO, I think. On average, you will roll a 3.5 on a 6-sided die, which means this is a 1/4, 4.5 card, which you can give +4 with your hero, or +5 with your hero ability, which is really good. Yeah, just a really good blue 3 block. Lay down the challenge. I think this card is pretty interesting, actually. Might be some type of Reinhardt build that focuses more on intimidating and then attacking with Ravenous Meat Axe. And this card, it does do that kind of. I mean, getting them to have more cards in hand than you is kind of difficult. You really sort of need to have already um, blocked on the previous turn or on their previous turn to get the draw. However, this also alongside some other cards that have been printed recently kind of points to a direction of a more buff-centric brute, maybe coming soon or something. Um, but yeah, this can be really good if you intimidate the right card. This can be like a 3 value draw card buff, sort of, which is very good. I don't think it's going to see play right now, but I think in the future it could have a home. Rip off the top, this is meant to be a tough nut card, I think. Cost 1, yellow, and 2 block, and it says draw a card, then pitch a random card from your hand. If it has 6 or more attack, your next attack this turn gets +3. Yeah, I guess in Tough Nut, if you do the play pattern of pitch a top card of your deck with your hero ability, then play this with those resources. You pitch the card you draw. Hopefully it's a 6 power. Your next attack gets +3. Then maybe you have generated toughness from your hero ability, or you can activate your gauntlets, and then you can swing rock for 10 or 11, and then it's sort of like a 10 to 12, a 2 card play, which is really good. Um, yeah, I think it's worth testing in my personal tough nut list. I don't have it right now. I am going to test it out, of course, because it potentially is very powerful. However, I am more built around generating clash value, and I want that to be as consistent as possible. Uh, and adding another miss into the deck is kind of I don't even run any non-attacks right now in that list, so I don't know if it'll be good, but you can definitely try it out, and I think it can definitely do some strong stuff, and I am definitely going to test it out myself as well. We got aggressive pounce. If you've intimidated an opponent this turn, this gets go again. 2 power or 2 cost 6 attack, 3 block in red. It also comes in yellow and blue. I think this card is really good for Rhinar, honestly. Just having another extender in the deck, like after you Blood Rush Bellowed or whatever, it's really good. I think it's very strong in that deck. It obviously doesn't have a home in any other um, routes right now because none of them are really built around intimidating. But Rhino is definitely, and this is just really strong upgrade in both Silver Age and CC. I think. Only threat though they because the yellows and the blues aren't 6 power. So we got Bearhawk. It's a 2/7 3 block. Comes in red, yellow, blue. Play this only if you pitch a card with 6 more attack this turn. So I think the red is probably pretty playable in Silver Age as a 2/7 3 block for KO because usually you do want to do the play pattern of Wild Ride, Claw 2/6 or 2 cost rather, and this is 2/7, which is one of the better rates you can get in Silver Age. Um, and then the blue is probably going to be played in CCKO as well because again it fits into the play pattern of Wild Ride into Claw into 2/6 or 2 cost, and this is 2/5, which is a better rate than basically all the other blue 2 costs that exist in the game right now. So we got Shield Beater. This card is actually very interesting for Guardian Mirrors. I think it'll make a pretty big impact there. Because you can. This is a one-handed weapon that attacks for 5, which previously all the one-handed weapons have attack for 4 at the max. It's a 4 cost, pitch to attack. Cards you own named and visit Avalheim can go again, which that might be relevant. I don't think it will be though. I don't think that card is very good, even if it does have go again. But this card, being the biggest one-handed uh, hammer we've seen for Guardians so far, is definitely going to be interesting because now you can run 5 attack weapon alongside your Rampart, uh, which might be better than Sledge. I don't know. I'm not. I like super first in the Guardian Mirror, but it might be. Yeah, this is mostly going to be a Silver Age card. Whenever you play an you may tap this and pay 1 if you do create a Seismic Surge. It's okay. The effect Guardwell 2 is really good, so I don't think this is gonna be super good. Maybe an Aura Guardian build can make use of this effectively, but I think you're mostly just playing it for the 2 block. And in CC, you just have better options. Stack plating is just better, and Earthbound Binding might be better in some of all the builds. Um, you got Basalt Boots. This actually is really good also in CC. I think this is just the best in slot Guardian likes after this point because it says if you control a Seismic Surge token, this gets +1 defense, and then it's Temper with 1 defense. So it's basically a Temper 2 leg equipment that's almost unconditional if you're playing a Seismic Surge hero or a Seismic Surge Guardian. If you're running tech plating like in Victor, or if you're playing Fallout, it's basically just unconditional temper 2, which is just really good, better than Civic Steps. It's kind of it sometimes is worse than Flexors, but it has the same type of value most of the time. We've got Seismic Shift. I think this card is really interesting. It's actually, yeah, I think it could be a pretty good cyborg beast for Vala. 0 cost. As an additional cost to play this, tap X Seismic Surge tokens you control, destroy X star aura tokens, and it's a 3 block red. So yeah, the cost is uh, basically negligent. I mean, it basically sets destroy up to X or target aura tokens where X is the number of Seismic Surge tokens you control, because you're not tapping your Seismic Surges for anything else. But I think it's really good into Fang, for example, or into Finset if we get future other rune blades that are built around using rune chants. It's going to be good into them. Are there any other relevant aura tokens? Maybe agilities or something, but that's a bit conditional, and I don't think it's going to happen that often. But I think it's definitely decent, and I think it could definitely see play in the future or right now. Oh, we got Sense Weakness. It's a 3 cost, 3 block blue Guardian action. Your next Guardian attack this turn gets +1, dominate, and when this hits zero, deal damage to all allies they control equal to the damage dealt this way, and go again. So this card is actually really good. I think this card is actually very relevant in the CC metagame right now. Mostly for Eliath and Valda, I think, because Valda is very aggressive and doesn't really want to clear allies necessarily. and you're just gonna hit their face and hope they die fast enough. And then if you can destroy Compass, that's also really good in that matchup. But this is a way to just completely wipe their board. If you go for 11 dominate, your opponent's not gonna be able to block all 11 of it, and you're usually just gonna deal at least 4, which wipes away almost every uh, ally. And this, I think, is also very good for Goliath. Actually, I think Goliath, one of his main weaknesses is not being very good into Gravy because he just cannot clear allies efficiently at all. And this card allows him to do just that, and it also gives the +1 on Dominate, which is actually relevant for Goliath because usually his attacks are very big but don't really have evasion. So what you can do is you just block out on their like their go turn, like usually they have setup turn and then big turn after that. And usually you just throw 4 cards in front of their big turn and move on with your life. But this card gives down it, so if they have this card, you can't do that, right? And then obviously it's also really good into Gravy, which is one of the problem matchups for that deck. Got this card, Valhalla Riven. It's a block card, 3 block, yellow. On this defense, you may pay up to 3. Create that many seismic tokens. This card might be good in Valda. I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely an option, right? Because pay 3, create that many seismic search tokens, so you basically go even in resources. However, if you pitch blue, for example, you get 3 seismics. You go even in resources, however, you guarantee your next attack to have dominate with Valda, because Valda says that at the start of your turn, your attacks with cards can dominate this turn if you have 3 or more seismic search tokens. So that's pretty good. Uh, we got Distant Rumbling, 0 cost, 3 block red. This comes in red, yellow, and blue. When this enters the arena, draw a card, then put a card from your hand onto your deck, 5th from the top. At the start of your turn, destroy this, then create 3 seismic search tokens. If it's yellow, it's 2, and blue is 1. This card is interesting. It doesn't have Go Again, which is pretty bad. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily super good. However, if you are playing Earthworm Bounty, you can do some fun stuff with this card because it basically says draw a card, put a card from your hand into your deck 5th from the top. I wonder if there's maybe a bit of synergy that you could do there. I'm not really thinking of anything right now. Well, actually, you can. You do have what's the card called? The blue 3 block that is mortar tied for seismic surges, and then at the start of your turn you gain 1 and draw a card if you have 3 or more. This actually turns that on by itself, I believe, because you can have the triggers. You can stake the triggers in such a way where the create a seismic token goes first, and then you draw a card for if you have 3 or more seismics. So if you draw a card, you have Earthworm Bounty, you get 2 seismics. If you have that card out, Promising Terrain is what the card is called. If you have Promising Terrain out, you draw a card. If you have Earthworm Bounty, you get 2 seismics. Start of turn, you destroy this, you create 2 more seismics. Then you have 4 in total. You draw a card from Promising Terrain, which is the card you put in your deck 5th from the top, which is pretty cool. And it also sets up clashing for the next turn, which could be relevant if you want to, I don't know, do clash stuff. Rise of Earth Lore, another 0 cost, block 3 Guardian action aura. When this enters the arena, create a seismic search token. Start of your turn, destroy this, and the next Guardian attack action card you play this turn gets +3 attack. I don't think this card's very good. Um, yeah, it's kind of mid. It's a 0 for 3, you create a seismic. Yeah, this card is definitely not that good. And the blue one gets +1 attack, by the way. Windcutter, I think this card's really good for Katsu in some matchups. It's a 1 block, Blade Break, Arms, Ninja Equipment. Has sets attack reaction tap and pay a resource. Search your deck for a shuriken item, put it into the arena, then shuffle. Fits only if you fit 2 or more times the combo chain. The only shuriken right now in the game is blue, 0 block, Silverwind Shuriken. Uh, it says you can destroy it as an attack reaction, give a card with combo +1. Yeah, I think this is really good into decks where you don't want to play Edge of Autumn. Um, So like a blocky matchup like Guardian or something, if you're against a Jarl, for example, they're trying to fatigue you because this way you can like, I mean, if you're playing Kadashi, it's basically impossible to block all of that out. So you're gonna hit two or more times some time across the game, right? And this just allows you to basically get three breaking scales triggers for a later turn. And you can also stack them on the same thing, or you can do it on different things. Force your opponent to block really awkwardly, and you get a bunch of hits through, which is really good. And I think so. Yeah, I think in those types of matches, it's going to be really good. However, in more aggro weasy type matchups, I think the Edge of Autumn stuff is still going to be better. Yeah, discard AB1 spell with whatever the fuck, you know. This is also interesting. Another AB1 chest. I don't think Ninja had this before. It says, oh, it does have this before, but that one doesn't really have an effect. This one says instant destroy this gain a resource activation only if it hit two or more times the combat chain. This is actually a really relevant effect. I think this is probably, yeah, this is one of the better arcane barrier equipment in the game because it actually does, like, this effect is relevant and you're gonna be able to choose to trigger it if you want. Uh, this card is sort of flick nice, but way worse. And I've tested it in Cinder and Silver 8 and it's not good enough. Uh, 2 steps forward, block one, ninja equipment legs, battle worn. Just instant destroy is create an agility token. Kind of awkward because you don't know if you're gonna need it next turn, but it's pretty decent. Battle worn one and uh, agility token is good. Gentle Breeze, 0 cost, 3 attack, 2 block. Ninja attack action. Your other attacks have base 1 attack. This card is one of the worst cards LSS has ever printed at Majestic Rarity. This card is insanely bad. This is literally just a red hat jab, but you have a downside. And Benji doesn't exist in CC right now, so there's literally no way to make this an upside. I have checked. I have literally checked. I mean, the only way is with Crouching Tigers. At that point, you're not that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Maybe if they print Benji as like a CC hero, Mystic Ninja hero, which I could see them doing because the Mystic cards in this set are also pretty fucking insane. Maybe you play this, but it's ass. I don't think this card's ever gonna see play. This card is so bad. Giving your attacks base one attack is just so it doesn't even work with like Tiger Swipe because that's what you want. Like ideally, you would do this and then bunch of tigers and then Tiger Swipe, which is unblockable now because you're a theoretical adult Benji. But it doesn't even work because Tiger Swipe is base becomes base one and then gives itself +2, so it becomes 3 and then it's not even unblockable anymore. So this card fucking sucks. Tigrin reflexes or Tigrin reflex, I guess you would say. This card is actually really good, I think, for Katsu. 0 cost, 2 block, 3 attack. Ninja attack action card, it's a 1 pitch combo. If crouching target goes last attack this combat chain, this gets +1 attack and go again, which is already pretty decent because it's kind of like pouncing key, but it's a 2 block. But it has an extra effect, which is attack reaction. Discard this target ninja attack gets +1 attack. Create a crouching tiger in your hand. So this could actually be really strong if you're playing a more Crouching Tiger-centric hero, or if you're Katsu and you just want to give an attack +1 and then discard the Crouching Tiger for your hero. He's basically like like an ancestral empowerment, but it blocks 2 instead of 3, and it has the upside of always guaranteeing a 0 cost to be drawn. Of course, and also it has the upside of being able to attack 3 theoretically if you would want to attack for 3. Um, maybe Tiger Katsu is possible with this. Um, I don't think it's very good though. Still, the Crouching Tiger payoffs aren't really worth it. Now that you have bonds again, you can just do bonds, and that's better than every other Crouching Tiger payoff, except maybe Chase the Tail. Vein Wedges. This is a pretty funny card. Zero cost, three block, three pitch, zero attack, ninja attack action card. When this chain link resolves, if there's a card defending this, draw a card. So that's pretty funny with Edge of Autumn, because you can give it +1 with the arm piece, and then if it hits, you get your thing back, your edge, and if it doesn't hit, you draw a card because they blocked it. Become the Bottle. I think this card's pretty interesting. Zero cost, two block, three attack, ninja attack action card. It comes in red, yellow, and blue. When this attacks, choose a card in the combat chain. This gets the chosen card's name. Funnily enough, you can actually choose your opponent's defending cards, I believe. So that's pretty funny. I don't think it'll ever actually come up, but it is pretty funny. Yeah, this is just really good for Kazu, I think. You can target like a previous gust wave or whatever, and basically just extend your turn. This allows for way easier double bonds turns or something of the sort. I think it's really good. It also has theoretical upside in Phi if you want to name Phoenix Flame, and you're playing something like Rise Up or Phoenix Form that cares about the number of Phoenix Flames you have on the combat chain. It theoretically has upside there as well. We got Become the Cup. This is a zero cost, two block, three attack, ninja attack action card, one resource, or it comes in red, yellow, and blue. As you play this, choose a color. This gets the chosen color. Go again. I think this card's really good. The red is really good in Zen because you can say blue, and then it's basically a 0 for 3 Transcend Enabler, which is just insane. And then the blue is really good in 5 because you can name red, and then it becomes a red card for Blaze Headlong or whatever. So yeah, that's a really good card. Yeah, Warrior, spell for 2, doesn't really matter now the Kano is gone. The Unity equipment's interesting. It's not, yeah, I mean, like, I guess it's very good block value for Decimator. Swordmaster Shine, I think this card's actually really good for Dorinthia. It costs 3, blocks 3, it says this costs 1 less to play for each +1 attack counter on swords you control, and target weapon attack gets +5. This is just a very big attack reaction, which Dorinthia has had access to, like Overpower or the 2, 4, 5 from heavy hitters that need your opponent to block with an attack action card. But this one's just straight up better than all of those. This one's actually really good. I think in aggro matchups you can pretty easily get to 2 or 3 counters, and this is just a 0 for 5 or 1 for 5 go again, basically because it's an attack reaction. And this allows you to keep your counters, which is very important if you're playing against whatever a Syndra or something, and they had a very good turn last turn, and you have 3 counters because they kept all their cards, and now they're planning on blocking you because they just Arsenal D-React. So their first attack they block 12, they have D-React and Arsenal, but you have this guy, so you could just go over the top and then they lose the game on the spot, which is really good. Then we got Blunton. Oh, this card also potentially very good in Hala in the future, but that remains to be seen, of course. Blunton, this card is insane. This card is an insane upgrade. It's a 2 block warrior block yellow. When this defensive weapon attack, the attacking hero discards card. So this hits so many things. It's actually crazy. Obviously, it hits other warriors, but it's good into Mario. It's good into KO. It's good into Runner. I mean, it's not very good into Runner because it's a block, but you know, it's good into so many things, and it's just like, yeah, defensive disruption is just really strong in this game. It's also very good into, for example, 5 because they attack Ember Blade a lot, and yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, the comes and rares kind of ass for Warrior in my opinion. So this card's really good for Teklo, Synapse Spark Cap, 1 block, Mechalos equipment base head. That's Battle Worn 1. Action tap this banish an evil from your hand, create a ponder token. So that's just basically draw a card because you can play the evils from your banish zone and then you get a ponder token. The Ghost Protocols, Architects, zero cost, 3 block, 1 attack, red. If this was banished from boosting this turn, you may play it from your banish zone. And then you can, when it attacks, search your deck for an evil that costs less than or equal to the number of evils you have equipped, banish it, and then shuffle. So this gets usually either the evo base equipment or the beta base equipment, which is 0 cost, or steel soul equipment, but those cost 4, so it's a lot more rare. Uh, yeah, this card's insane. Because I mean, boost deck lows are, I think, very definitively better, and these beta base equipment are just so cracked with the steel soul stuff because you can, for 0 cost, both turn on the effects of the steel soul cards, and it also allows you to play the steel soul cards on a much better curve than before. So that's just crazy. The Ghost Protocol mainframe is just a 0 cost blue, 1 attack, and it gets +1 for each EV you have equipped, and you can also play from your banish zone if you've boosted it this turn, so it's just a really good chain ender, or just a blue card, really. I guess Speed Demon, I think I do want to talk about this. 0 cost, 3 attack, 3 block. It says Scrap. As an additional cost to play this, you may banish an item or equipment from your graveyard. If you control a hybrid driver, this gets +1 attack. When this attacks, if it scraps a hybrid driver, create a hybrid driver with 2 steam counters. So you can crank that hybrid driver if you're playing max, give it 2 to go again. And then it's just a 0 for 4 go again that creates a hybrid driver. I think it's a really solid card. Assembly module. This card's maybe really good because it's like, okay, it's a 3-page 0 cost mechanics item. It has crank, so you can give a go again if you remove a steam counter as you play it. It enters the arena with steam counter at the start of your turn, destroys unless you remove steam counter from it. Action tab, search the deck for hybrid driver, put it into the arena, then shuffle. I think this is really good if you're playing hybrid drivers in your deck, which I think you do want to be doing nowadays, especially with Speed Demon as well, wanting to scrap hybrid drivers. Getting, yeah, I think because it's basically just a 0 cost red hybrid driver, and but it's a blue, and if you can hit with Bagsy, it stays around another turn, and then it's 2 hybrid drivers. That suddenly becomes very good for the aggro matchups, which I think this card has some merit. I think it is actually really good. I don't know if it's enough to make Max like good or playable, but I think it's close. I think it is definitely close. That deck does have potential to be very strong and do some strong stuff. Okay, now we got the Evo Beta base sets. So this is 0 cost, 1 block Mechanologist action equipment Evo base head, and then there's also chest, arms, and legs. If you have a base head equipped, transform it into this, then equip this. Evo has cost you 1 less to play, and then there's Battle Worn. So the chest has chests and arms and legs the same. This is really good with Steel Soul equipment because those usually cost 4, now they cost 3. And this is also just a 0 cost Evo, that so you can get online faster, and it allows you to trigger your Steel Soul cards without having to play terrible dog shit in your deck. And it's just a blue, which is really good. And if you have leftover blues in your hand and this in your banish zone, you can use your hero ability to cycle the blues, and it's just like this card is so this head is so insane. Like it's, yeah, I think this head combined with the Ghost Protocol stuff is just straight up enough to make Teklo playable, if not really good, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it is really that good. Heart Wrencher 0 cost, 3 attack, 3 block, Mechanologist attack, action, wrench attack. So that is important to know that it is a wrench attack, and then it just has boost. So it comes in red, yellow, and blue. Interesting. Wrench attack that is a boost card is interesting. I don't think it's very relevant right now, except for the item, but it's interesting for future design. UPF bow, yippee! We all we all definitely asked for this. LSS, thank you. This set is interesting. Arrange your equipment chest trap. Conceal the nerve gas. It is cloaked, so you equip it face down. And then when an attack with Gogan hits you, destroy this, create a Felter token. Then the pathogen says whenever you get hit and your opponent is playing an attack action, they get a blood rot, and the sedative gives them an inertia if you get hit by an attack with greater than its base. I think this is actually maybe really strong. Um, because you don't have to ever trigger this, so you can give them. I think especially the inertia one is the strongest probably. You can just give them an inertia whenever you think that they cannot convert their last card in hand. If they hit you with an attack greater than space. And then if you're playing Riptide, this also deals the damage, which isn't irrelevant. So it's basically sort of a four-ish value chest equipment, maybe more if the card they put on the bottom is more than three value, which it usually is because if they want to arsenal it, it's usually a good card, right? And then it also deals the one damage. So I think this could be very strong in Silver Age. In CC, probably not. French is very important for Riptide. And then Marlin probably doesn't want to play this. So and then in LL, Lexi definitely wants Tunic and the other. I mean, I guess Marlin is playable in Living Legend. Maybe it's good in Marlin there, but I imagine you still just want Tunic. Um, this card is actually interesting. It's a 0 for 3 buff, and it says when this defense and the attacking hero is played or created two or more auras this turn, destroy an aura they control. I think this could be really good in some situations. I think it's probably good in Lexi and Living Legend against Enigma and Prism if they're on Luminaris, which they should be, because then you can block an aura and destroy the aura that you blocked, and they lose their go again, which is good. Then we got this one, Rainbow Goo Thread. This is one of my favorite cards in the set. It's a 0 cost, 3 block ranger defense reaction trap. When it defends an attack with attack greater than its base, dominates, and go again, the attack gets -2 attack and loses and comp gain abilities. This is anti-stopper card, right? I think this is really good in Lexi in Living Legend. I think it because Starfall is one of your worst matchups, I think, and this card just straight up gives you a free turn, basically, which is really good. It because it also just turns off, for example, Oakenold or something, and all disruptive on hits, and they cannot follow up with it as well. I think this card's really good. I think Lexi in Living Legend is actually really, really strong right now. There are a couple more cards that we're gonna go over later, which are really good for Lexi as well. I think, yeah, this is just really strong now. Um, this one I do want to talk about. The others in the cycle aren't so interesting, but this one is very strong. Maybe it's a 0 cost 3 block Ranger action trap that says create a fealty token under target hero's control, and let's go again. And it says when its defense and attack less than its base, its controller discards a card. Now, this is a blue 3 block that makes your opponent discard a card sometimes, which I think is just really good. I don't think, like, realistically, what are you triggering this against if your opponent has a fealty token and they attack with their weapon? It's gonna hit him there. And if your opponent plays your Ravenous Rabble, that's really the only two situations I can see this coming up. But I think in those two situations, this card is really powerful, and as a blue 3 block, that also can just be played out for value. Uh, if your opponent decides that you're not blocking with it this turn, or you're not pitching it for some reason, I think this card is really powerful. I think it's the flexibility is really good, and the fact that it's defensive disruption, which, as I said, is very powerful in Flesh and Blood. Yeah, I think this card has potential to be very strong. Um, anything very interesting here? This card's good for Vincent. Create a root token basically get out of jail free card. Uh, this card's interesting. Beckoning Haunt. It's a Guardwell 2. Runeblade Equipment Arms. action XX and a resource. Destroy this, return target aura with cost action on graveyard to your hand. So basically, one cost draw Milfink, which is really good in Aurora in Living Legend. You can get back a channel lining value with this, which is pretty good. Anything else? Now, right now, I think there's a lot of Aura Roomblade stuff in this set, and we're gonna go through Wizard cards as well, which are all built around sigils, and then I think we're gearing up to have the next set be at least Roomblade and Wizard, and have them interact with auras and drafts, so they can overlap their draft cards like that. So I think we're definitely gonna be looking at that. Which is very cool. I would love to have a new room blade. I hope it's an untalented set so we can have an untalented wizard as well, because we don't have one of those in CC right now. I think this card's really good though. It does cost you an action point, but does that really matter if you do this instead of your weapon, and you just draw whatever card you want basically, or whatever aura you want basically. Doomsaying. Zero cost, a Runeblade action aura, 3 block, go again at the beginning of your end phase, put a Doom counter on this. Then each hero destroys X auras they control X the number of Doom counters on this. This card sucks and it's probably never going to be good, but maybe if you stack a bunch of rune chance and make your opponent blow up their fealty or whatever. I mean, this card's not good. But it's another card that has aura synergies. So then, Sigil of Grave Spawning, another aura synergy card, one that wanted to cost Moonblade action aura, 3 block, go again whenever an aura leaves your graveyard, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero, and then at the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. Another aura synergy. Sigil Silver Day, if you want to read it, you can. More aura synergy, more aura synergy, more aura synergy. No, I think we got something here. We're gonna, go over to the wizard cards. This is the first one with a token, actually, so we're gonna read that first, because it gives you context for the other cards. Sigil Fate, when this leaves the arena, opt 1. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. Yeah. It's a token. Tempest Dancers, 0 block Blade Break. I really like the wizard equipment having 0 block Blade Break because it's very funny and it feels very wizardy, very tricky and stuff. When this leaves the arena, you may play your next non-attack action card this turn, so we're an instant. Yeah, it's Stormstriders, but way, way, way worse. Doesn't cost a resource, but you can do it on demand. You have to rely on your opponent attacking you, and also closing the combat check, which isn't very good. If they, I'm gonna go over the other equipment in a minute. All of them except for the boots also have a similar effect. I think we might be looking at something of an equipment recursion wizard coming soon-ish, maybe. This might be too powerful from that though. Alternatively, it could be that they're just printing a budget Stormstriders option, or they just want to ban Stormstriders soon, which I can understand if they want to do that. And this is a more fair replacement for that card. Um, Shroud of the Fate Watcher. What Shroud of the Fate Watcher? 0 block Blade Break when this leaves the arena. Creates your Fate token. Robe of Resourcefulness. 0 block Blade Break when this leaves the arena. Gain 2 resources. Glows of Razor. When this leaves the arena, destroy target aura token. Yeah, these cards are unplayable right now. I don't think. Robe of Resourcefulness might be decent in KO sometimes, but it's just probably just worse than Spellfire Cloak. Might be good if there is an equipment recursion wizard sometime soon. Aetherstrong Wellingtons, Arcane Barrier 2, pretty good in Silver Age. Glyph Destruction Nodes. This card, I think a lot of people are underrating this card. I think it's actually very good. 0 cost, yellow. 3 block wizard action, deal 3 arcane damage to X target heroes and or allies where X is the number of aura permanents you control with sigil in their name. You just basically board wipe your opponent if you have a number of sigils, which is pretty strong. I think it's good into Gravy, it's good into Trauma in Living Legend, maybe if you are playing a Sigil Wizard. Yeah, it's not playable right now, I don't think. I mean, you can play it in Acilio technically, but I don't think it's very good there. In the future, sigil-oriented untalented wizard is going to be pretty good, I think. Temporal Wobble. This card is insane for Acilio. Zero cost wizard instant negate target non-attack action card with cost less than the number of aura permanents you control sigil in their name. Its controller gains 1 action point. So this is basically just counterspell a non-attack if you have a number of sigils. This card is crazy. Like you can negate a codex, you can negate amulet of echoes, you can negate to null time zone. This card. I mean, you're not playing it in every matchup because it is definitely a very hard bricky card. But it's insane, like against a brute where you negate their blood rush bellow or something. It's just crazy. Um, Glyph power spell, 2 cost, 3 block, red. Deal 4 arcane damage to any target if you control a card with sigil in his name instead of the 6 arcane. I think this card's really good. It's just a red emeritus, but you can use it on your own turn. But it has another condition of needing to have a sigil. So painful premonition, 0 cost, 3 block. Deal 3 arcane damage to any target. If this deals damage, create a sigil fate token. This card is just a zap with upside if you're playing a sigil wizard. It's decent. Then future side, 1 cost, wizard instant, create 3 sigil fate tokens. This card's, yeah, it's you can do stuff with it. With glyph overlay, it's fine. I like the sigil design space that they're going with, though. I hope the next untalented wizard is actually a sigil wizard, so wizard gets like more of an identity, which it kind of lacks that right now, in my opinion. Wizard is one of the least one of the classes with the least powerful class identity, in my opinion, and I think if they lean more into the sigil stuff, I think that could really fix that problem that the class has right now. So that would be cool if they do that. This is Shiana card. You just become a living legendary, which is hilarious. So that's amazing. Uh, Ward X, fucking bullshit. Why did you give this to Illusionist, bro? Illusionist does not need on-demand Ward X. But whatever. I mean, whatever. The Silken equipment aren't very good. I think this one might be pretty good. Ward 1 and Euclid Ponder is decent. Could be good maybe. It's just not in any hero right now, I don't think. And they printed a bunch of Mirage cards. So that's interesting. They're kind of expanding the Illusionist design space. Out of these, I think the only one that's really strong and worth talking about is this one. Blue, 0 cost Illusionist defense direction blocks 2. That's Mirage, so when it defends a non-illusionist attack with 6 or more power, destroy it. And it says, well, this is defending when the chain link resolves, banish it. You may play this combat chain. So against any deck that doesn't want to close the combat chain for whatever reason, think Zen, Fi, uh, really any ninja, and then some other decks. This is just a 0 for at least 4. Usually it's more like 6 or something like that. Because even if they do close the chain, that is some value lost for them. So I think this card's pretty good in Silver Age and in Living Legend. I don't think it's gonna see playing CC right now because it doesn't really fit into Prism being a blue. This set is worth talking about because it's basically it says while this is in your graveyard at the start of your turn, you may destroy 2 silver you control if you do equip this. When this is equipped from anywhere other than your graveyard, put a -1 defense counter on it, and then it has Blade Break 2. This is a set that is available in all equipment slots for Assassin. I think this is interesting. This might be good in CC for Huntsman, giving you the option to buy back some blocking equipment instead of Massacre Perdition or Black Tech Whisperers if you play the arm piece. So if you play this card, you can have a bit more modality to your silver tokens. Maybe could be decent. I don't think it's gonna be that good there though. I think in Silver Age it could be good if you build a more contract focused assassin, because basically whenever you fulfill a contract with this card, it's +1 value, which is decent-ish. Yeah. Um, this card is interesting. It's a very good fatigue card. One cost, 5 attack, 3 block, assassin action, attack action, contract. You are contracted to banish opponent's red cards. Whenever you complete this contract, create a silver token. When it hits 0, banish the top card of the deck. If it's red, repeat this process once. Yeah, this seems really good into any red line aggro deck, really. You accelerate your fatigue game plan if you're playing some of these cards or other buyback cards. You get 2 silver tokens usually. Yeah, this seems really good. Funnily enough, the cycle also hits red cards, so this might just be a fucking 9-off in CC for Huntsman. And same in Silver Age for some decks like New, for example, is probably pretty good at fatiguing with that in their deck. Um, do any of the gravy cards excite me enough to talk about them? Not particularly, I don't think. This card's pretty funny, but it's not amazing. Sky Warden, Baby Warden. He's really cute. This card's actually a really good upgrade for Puffin, I think. Uh, Stats don't really matter. It says Galvanize when this defense you may destroy an item you control. If you do this, gets +1 attack. If a golden cog is destroyed this way, create a gold token. So this is just a gold generator and Puffin again. Something that really needed, especially since this allows you to have more consistently have gold generation. I think this card with Cheating Scoundrel, which we'll talk about, is actually enough to just make Pirate Puffin more valuable than Boost Puffin, which is crazy. But I do think it's actually true. So that's pretty cool to see. Shallow Water Shark Harpoon. Crazy card for Marlin. Oh my god, we got another Harpoon. 2 cost, 5 attack, 3 block yellow. If you've activated the cannon this turn, this gets when it's his hero, destroy a card in their arsenal. If you do, create a gold token. Insane card. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. There's nothing really else to say about it except that it's cracked. Really strong. Really, really strong. Cheating Scoundrel. The next attack action card you play this turn gets +3 attack and wagers with the defending hero. The winner creates a gold token. The next time you would lose a wager this turn, instead you may discard a card. If you do, you win the wager. So basically, it's a 0 for 3. On hit, you create a gold. Not on hit, you can choose to discard a card to create a gold anyway. Really good for Marlin. Uh, since if you don't hit, you can discard the harpoon you make. Their hero ability really good as Puffin because it's more gold generation. It's not that good in Gravy because it says attack action card, but yeah. Yeah, this card is gonna make a lot of people like it's gonna see a lot of play. I think Marlin and Puffin both get some pretty substantial buffs from this set, which is gonna make them see more play than people are thinking right now, in my opinion. This card could be funny. To trade 2 gold tokens if you have a yellow card in your graveyard. I don't think you can rely on your opponent having yellow cards. The problem is currently the pirates that exist in CC or in Silver Age just don't really want to be arsenaling their yellows. That's kind of the problem with this card. Otherwise, it would be really good in Puffin. But yeah, Puffin just doesn't have enough yellow cards that are actually impactful in Arsenal. The pirate cards, these all kind of suck. This one's maybe decent, but probably not. This card is pretty crazy. It's a 2/4/7 3 block light illusionist attack action with Phantasm, and there's instant discard this until end of turn attack action card your opponent control. Get -1 attack while attacking and defending. So this turns off poppers, and it also is just a reverse edict for your or reverse a reverse anthem for your opponent, which is really strong. Like in the Syndra, for example, this can be like 5 block and five. This can be 6 block or whatever. I think this card is really good. Uh, Roaring Beam, 0 cost, Light Warrior attack reaction 3 block. Create a curse token. If there are no cards in your soul, return this to its owner's hand, then charge your soul. This card combined with some more cards I'm probably going to talk about, I think make Bolton kind of really strong. I think he's a pretty competent aggro deck now. I don't think he will be immediately S tier or anything, but there's some merit at play into playing it right now. This is a pretty decent charge card. There are some other cards. There are no other cards that charge in this set, sadly. I would have liked to see maybe one or two more, but the arms equipment is really good. This card's really good. This card's really good. This card's really good for Bolton. So let's talk about this one first. It's a 1 block. When the combat chain closes, if it's defended, put it into your soul, and then it has AB1. So AB1 is really good. Obviously, Soul Feel on demand is really good. I think this card's really good for probably both for Prism and for Bolton. Because Prism wants the soul for Soraya or something like that, and Bolton just likes to have the on-demand soul for consistency. We got Blessing of Belena. This is a 0 cost yellow 3 block light action aura. Go again whenever a card is put into your soul. Create a curse token at the start of your turn. Put this into your soul. So it creates a curse token itself. This is like a 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 with the amount of curses you create, and then it also is Soul Fill itself. This card's really good. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about this except it's just really strong. Duty Bound Blitz 0 for 5. Go again. Play this only if a yellow card has been put into your soul. This turn is really good extender for Bolton. 0 for 5. Go again is just really strong. Soulbound Belief 0 for 3. 3 block. When this attacks, rule the top card of your deck. If it's yellow, put it into your soul, and this gets +1 attack. Another very strong Bolton card. I think my Bolton list right now is on like 33 yellows or something. So this basically being another Illuminate is really good. And you can also start your turn with this if you kind of bricks because of itself, because it gives itself +1. You can give a go again with Bolton as well. Uh, Worth noting is that it doesn't turn on Raiden, but it's yeah, it would have been even better if it did actually charge the card, but it's whatever. Um, this card, I think this card's actually really strong. I think a lot of people are maybe underrating this card, but it's a blue 3 block, and it says each hero banishes a card from their hand. Each hero who didn't banish a card with 6 or more attack loses a life. So this basically turns off Blood Debt, and it's sort of a reckless swing, right, in the way that it forces your opponent to lose a life. And it's also just kind of like if you have no cards in hand and you basically force your opponent to bench a card, which is just uninteractable disruption, is just really strong. Then this card, Deep Recesses of Existence. 4 cost, blue, 3 block, 6 attack, Rune Gate. And this says when the combat chain closes, you may banish this face down. If you do, for each hero is lost life this turn, banish a card from their graveyard. This card is insane for Vincent because it just allows you to recur. Like usually it's gonna be a Deathly Well or another Rune Gate card, and that's just really strong. It basically allows you to go more wide than you were able to before, with more consistency than before, which is really good. I think this card's really strong. Yeah. Next. Anything worth talking about? This is a really strong Levia card. I think this alone might even make Levia like Loki pretty strong in CC. Also, as we've seen in Silver Age with my buddy Killian, making day 2 at the world premiere calling. This is recorded after day 1 just finished, so I don't know if he top 8 or anything. Uh, but the deck is pretty strong in Silver Age. I think it might be one of the better decks in Silver Age actually, and this card also makes it maybe pretty strong in CC as well. And these cards all suck. I mean, this is a better extender for Vincent, but it's whatever. This is the card I was talking about with Lexi. This is a 1 cost, 5 attack, 3 block, elemental ranger action, arrow attack. And it says when this attacks, if a lightning or elemental attack would deal damage this combat chain, instead it deals damage +1. And lightning bond if a lightning card was switched to play this gets to go again. So this is just a fucking ball lightning on an arrow, which is insane for Lexi in LL, I think. Yeah, this just I think this allows you to build a more elemental lightning focused Lexi in in LL and have it actually be good. Just having another a copy of ball lightning in your deck is insane. I think. Yeah, this card's really good, really good. Any other card here that I want to talk about? This card's pretty strong. This card's pretty good as well. If you want to build a more disruption focused ice deck, unconditional frostbite generation is just really good. Um, yeah, another decomposed card for Florian might be decent in Living Legend or in Sage. There was a Florian Day 2 at World Premiere Calling, but the Florian's conversion rate was really bad. So I don't know. For Verdance, this card might be good. Funny thing with this card is you can search for Sigil of Sanctuary, which which is a card that just stays on the board, and then you can turn on your what's it called? Yeah, the wobble, which is a funny interaction. I don't think it's gonna be very relevant, but it is a funny interaction. Where was I? This is good for Verdance, just a 2 block or a 1 block if you want graveyard fill. Doubling season. This card sucks gigantic, enormous ass, and I'm so sad about it because this could be a really funny combo piece. It's a 3 cost 0 attack 3 block. Will just face up in any zone. Would if it would gain attack instead of gains damage +1. Why did they make this 0, bro? 0. That was so unnecessary. This could be like 5 and it'd be fine. The problem with it being 0 is that it needs to have more than 7 buffs on it to be better than Raging Onslaught, and it's not easy to get 7 buffs on this. That's just such a tall order. Like it's just impossible. I think this yeah, it's a really cool card though. The art's really cute. I like how Terra is just sitting here like some sort of old earthy Santa. Yeah. Uh, really good for Briar. Just a 0 for 3 Earth buff. Insane. Um, this card's interesting. I don't know if it has some application for sure. Uh, which one was the one that? Yeah, this this one. Yeah, this is the one. This card is kind of nuts. This card is kind of nuts. 0 cost 3 block. Cards and opponents' arsenals are frozen while they control a frostbite or a frozen permanent. And then that's channel ice. Yeah, this is just really good. This card's not great. Because like in Jarl, if you give your opponent frostbites because you've destroyed their equipment or whatever, this is just this just freezes their arsenal. Actually, if they get rid of the frostbite in their turn, their arsenal won't be frozen anymore. Maybe this is not as good as I thought. If you manage to freeze stuff, is good. Problem is the freeze cards are kind of ass. Shorts are frozen. Yeah, this card's not very good. The freeze 3 allies, this card's not very good. That's a shame. I guess you would need to use this, and then at that point you have two channel auras out, which is not very consistent. Yeah, I guess not quite there yet. But if we get more freeze synergies, this card's gonna be very good. Sigil of Voltara is another Runeblade Aura, which no. This card's actually pretty good in Aurora. Uh, I hope they make Aurora the next new Aurora more Aura focused, so she can play Blast to Oblivion and stuff like that. That would be pretty fun. I think maybe I'll try to build a Blast to Oblivion Silver Age Aurora. I think that might be pretty strong. Um, yeah, it's lightning. This card's lightning Wizard Snapback, which is pretty cool. I think I saw some arcane Asilios floating around that use this card, which is pretty interesting. I don't think it's very good, but it is interesting. This card's very good for Rosilio. Astrovault Elemental. 0 cost 3 attack, 3 block. When it's attacked, you may discard an instant card if you do draw a card. And create an embodiment token. So yeah, Rosilio's main problem is kind of action point economy. Or well, I wouldn't say it's a problem necessarily, but the biggest limiting factor, I guess you could say, for Rosilio is action point economy. And this card is an action point, so that's really good. This card is interesting. 0 cost. Yellow. Until end of turn, lightning and elemental attacks get +1 while they have go again. This could be strong, maybe somewhere. I don't know exactly where it would be, but it has strong words, so could be good. Haboob, I think, is worth talking about. 0 cost, 3 block, Draconic Illusionist action aura. Go again at the start of each turn. Put a storm counter on this, then destroy it unless you destroy an ash you control for each storm counter on it. Attack action cards gets -1 attack while attacking or defending. I think this card's kind of nuts. Like, if you play this in Dromai, and your opponent is like a go wide aggro deck, you can leave it around for 1 turn, or you can not leave it around for 1 turn, because if you play it, it's going to be around for 1 turn anyway, and it just gives -1 to all your opponent's attacks. Then it's also just a Phantasm Protector, which is really good. Uh, Good fight card, really good fight card. I think this card is pretty good for fight. I think it shores up some of your bad matchups, like in the Scour, for example, because it says field tokens you control can be destroyed by opponent's effects. So it's good into Scour, it's good into Clash of Bravado. Decent. We got fucking Phoenix Artivar. Insane. Why did LSS print this card? I don't know. They. I don't know. I thought they would stop doing draw 2 cards like we banned Tome of Aether Wind. Why did we ban Tome of Aether Wind if we're just gonna turn around and print fucking Artivar again? But yeah, it's whatever. This card's fucking insane. This card's pretty good. Yeah, Fi is like definitively best deck. I think in CC it's definitely the best aggro deck. It's probably just the best deck overall. I don't think any other deck can really compete with it right now, but it's gonna Living Legend in like 2 or 3 weeks, so it's not that bad. Um, really good new card, I think. Pretty funny. Nah, it's okay. It's fine. Does this card do stuff? No. Every time I read this card, I'm kind of disappointed because it's so hard to get both of the effects. This card's really good in Zen and Silver Age, also in Living Legend, of course. But yeah, in Silver Age because it allows you to play Fluster Fist, which is a really good card. This card is nuts. This card's nuts. It's a cloaked equipment, mystic equipment, arms. It's a 3 block with a blade break, and it has cloaks, which means it's face down. And it says instance pay a key. Turn this face up. You may return a defending blue attack action card to its owner's hand. So it's basically like a 3 block blade break card. That that draws a card. Or it serves as a route if you want it to serve as a route. This card's just insane. This card's interesting. Turning cloaked equipment face down. I don't think it's very good. This card's very good for Zen. Anything else that's very interesting here? Not really. See, if you could untap this card, it would be very strong, but you cannot right now, so it's not as strong, but it could become very strong. Also, discard another fucking draw two. Why are we doing this again, LSS? I thought we would stop printing draw twos. I don't know, maybe not, maybe not, I guess not. Please go back to not printing draw twos again. I don't want to have another fucking book burning. Like, we were kind of done with the book burning the first time it happened, okay? Like, come on. Just, yeah, don't do that again. Nice, six, blue six for tough nut. Another blue six for tough nut. And there's another one. Oh, but that's generic, so we're gonna get to that. This is pretty good for RKO. Change of brutality, 0 cost 2 attack, 3 block. If this has 6 or more attack, it gets go again, and when it's 0, the next attack action card you play this turn has 6 base attack. Um, yeah, I think this card reads a lot better than it plays. I think because it's a good extender into decks where you need the extender, but even then it's kind of iffy because you need to use your hero ability on this, and it doesn't trigger unless it hits. Yeah, I don't think this card's amazing. Well, it's good. It's a really good card, but I don't think it's like as good as it reads at first glance. Now this card is pretty good. It's a 0 cost 3 attack revolve guardian attack action card, a 3 block. If this has attack greater than its base, get +1. And crush when it deals 4 or more damage to a hero until the end of their next turn. The base attack and defensive attack action card they control are halved rounded up. I think this card's just really good. Yeah. It threatens to crush, basically give your opponent at least what's it called? At least this runs on me effect. Probably more than that, and yeah, it's just really good. I think this is another really good disruption piece for Life. Two-Face, another very good Life card. I think. One block, revolve equipment, headwind is defensive, attacking hero draws a card. Then look at their hand and choose a card. They discard the chosen card. So yeah, and another example of defensive disruption, which I think is really strong in Flesh and Blood. You can basically you grab a blue or grab their strongest attack or whatever. Really good in my opinion. We've got line crosses. This card is good for life, or this card's good for RKO, and I think also pretty good for life. But the life chest piece or the life arm piece in CC is already really good, so I think it might only see play in uh, Silver Age for life. One block without equipment arms. If you have the same health as a hero, it also counts as you having more health than them and them having less health than you. So for RKO, this basically means your marking blows and your big bullies are turned off from turned on from the start of the game, which is really strong. This card's really good for Life, I think. Um, this is interesting. Almost same safe haven. Want to talk about it real quick. It's a 2 block blade break. When it defends, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an attack action card, add it to the chain link as defending card and discard card. So yeah, this basically is a two. It's usually a 5 block piece of head equipment, and if you block with the rest of your cards. So it's interesting. I don't think it's gonna see play right now. It might see play in Pleiades, but I said that I don't think it's very good currently. But it is an option if you want to just have more stronger defensive equipment, basically. This is a Kano card. Yay, let's go. It's a 3 block arms equipment if you have no cards in hand, which is really good for Kano and Silver Age. Um, oh, I scrolled past it. Yes, this is the blue 6 for whatever. What was I just talking about for Tough Nut? If you it's a 3 cost. The card's attack is equal to the highest base attack of opposite you control, so it's gonna be 7 if you have a rock, basically, and then it's a 2 block. Um, Oh, this is a anti-gravy card that you can just put in your sideboard to host gravy, which is really good. Rest isn't very interesting, right? No. And there's a bunch of Marvels as well. Anything cool in the Antiquity packs? Yeah, I mean, Rusted Relic is a funny reprint. Yeah, Rest is just cool. Yeah, so that's a set. I think it's really good set. I think it might be legitimately the best set Alice has ever done. There's a lot of support for bad heroes. There's not really any support for heroes that were already good. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. It really evens the playing field, kind of like decks that were bad are now decent or good, and decks that were good are still the same power level, basically. So yeah, I really like that. I think yeah, this set's going to be really good for the CC metagame. It's going to allow people to play more of the decks that they like to play, while also not hurting the good decks that people are already playing. So yeah, I think that's really good. And I also think Silver Age is really fun format after this set because there's a lot of interesting cards in this set, really, that make Silver Age a more interesting format. So yeah, in the coming weeks, I'm going to be posting some more videos talking about Silver Age as a format, what decks are good, like a tier list or something, and the same goes for CC because I am going to be preparing for Pro Tour Yokohama, which I'm going to. Um, yeah, that's really it for now. Goodbye.